Everybody, it's Wednesday, which means today is Orphaned Honor. Um, we're a little short on time today, and we're a little late to start. So we're just gonna get right into it. Who would like to do the recap this week, and why would it be Greg?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, sorry, it could also not be Greg. I defaulted to the
No,
person who didn't do homework.
no, I'm sorry. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna actually throw it to Dawn this week.
Okay, well,
Okay.
you see, um,
And
session 22, the party departs by carriage, making a brief stop at Estelle's
No,
home in order
don't
to
you-
pick up
All right, stop.
you can't
Stop.
do a me.
Stop.
You can't.
I subtract 3 points from Don.
Oh no, don't do that. I'm sorry, I won't do
The
it
first
again.
time I've ever done it. But here it is live.
He expects
life
better
is
of
no
you,
longer
Dawn.
worth living. Okay,
expects better from you.
fine. I believe, if I remember correctly, not looking at the way that the recap is written, today was the day we were going to meet with the Circle Head, from my understanding. So we went out, stopped at Estella's home to, I think that was for clothing. We didn't really linger that much at that scene. Nobody brought us to the teleportation circle, where we were basically brought to the Skywalker Ranch, I guess. I don't know. It's super fantasy, very beautiful place on the outskirts of the town, city, space station, whatever. And after a very, very long trip through their property, we met with Lucinda, who very much so was giving me some swashbuckler rogue vibes. And there she proceeded to interrogate us and ask us as politely as possible to explain, in character, that we were the player characters. It was very difficult to convey this. But we did it. We had to make a persuasion check that was group dependent, and we succeeded. The high roll is absolutely needed to carry the low rolls. And she agreed to graciously be our host. We made our way out, where we met Zeke, who gave me some serious G. Wilder, Willy Wonka vibes, and we stayed for dessert. And he's a super cool dude, and he's married to Lucinda, and they're very different. We picked up a lot of discoveries throughout the session, and we just did a lot of talking. After that, we made our way back to the orphanage, where Core had to have conversations with Yelena about some things that were revealed during the course of the session, namely that not only are we going to be fighting Consummon, but it looks as though we will be picking a fight with a Dwarven general who is also a slave monger, apparently, or something like that. So there's that, and then we talked about the Dragonstone, and then Yelena summoned Shenron in their mind, and it was a very memorable experience for Yelena, and they were even left a souvenir in the form of third-degree burns on their palms. One would dare say that this danger is too hot to handle. Anyway, we then all rolled our D100s, and Dyer had to see if Roll20 was working still, because we all rolled above 90. And I remember very specifically that Dyer said that they were going to have something for that at the start of the session, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, I typically like to work on those things.
Yeah. So, probably the shortest recap I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Memes aside.
Mm-hmm. Really was.
Session was pretty straightforward.
Now we got to get some new trauma from the minds.
Yep.
And it's a bed.
Okay.
Which we're gonna delay about 15 seconds because I gotta run away really quickly, but I'll be right back. I swear.
Okay.
Quick, do something entertaining.
So
Okay. Yeah.
if I change my name on the Discord to Haba Narrow parentheses Greg, then it will confuse Dyer and make him think that you wrote the recap.
Oh, yeah, let's just all do that right now. All right.
Yeah.
I'm committing.
No,
I'm committing.
Yeah, no, we're all just Hava and Nero Greg.
I'm doing it right now. You think I'm not, but I am.
No.
It's done.
There we go.
I think I'm more alarmed. I came back to complete silence.
You'll notice when you notice.
You'll notice when you notice.
Really don't. I really don't like that answer. But now I'm gonna panically check everything. What have you done? Quick, someone tell me, what do they do?
We actually just crashed the entire stream.
The entire
over.
stream. It's over.
Yep, there we go.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Quinn.
Well, I'm just going to not figure that out and be alarmed the entire game. And pretend like nothing is happening.
I suppose I will ask for this one situation where it seems like Greg has been through a really shitty week. Can I donate my recap inspiration to them?
No. You're good. Don't.
Me.
But look in the main chat of the voice call. I have multiplied, Dyer. I am Legion.
Now, when you say that, do you mean Discord server? Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny? I actually glanced over and saw it, but my brain absolutely just saw it once. And we're like, oh yeah, those are the other avatars I'm used to.
Yeah. Now all of us have to play a pair of Hava and Neros.
Sounds like a challenge.
It is. Right.
Anyway, just so everyone's reminded, where we left off was everyone back at the orphanage, having parted ways to their respective rooms to get some rest for the evening. Wherein we have two visions, I guess, to go over, two in-dream moments. And first, we're going to start with the Narrow.
Oh.
So, the twins found themselves going to bed, getting comfortable, appreciating the relative comfort in which you've been able to share in recently, after a day's job well done. Sleep is not difficult to come by, especially when you know the threat of nightmare invading night hags are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Music. At one point during your rest, however, Haba is stirred awake. And when he comes to, he is surrounded on all sides by white. There is no bed, there is no room. But when you look, you see, and almost suddenly, like not having been there before, almost materializing at the thought, is Nero, also awake. Space is completely empty. You can feel that there's a presence beneath your feet, so you're not falling, but there's no other tangible or physical evidence of there being any actual space here. And then off in the distance, you see a little pinprick of darkness. And it begins to grow. You watch as it begins to shift. And these tendrils of dark, inky matter are kind of spreading outwards from the point. And it grows larger and larger by the second. Suddenly, this entirely white space is now half darkness and increasing. But it doesn't seem malevolent. Just approaching. Do you sit and wait, or do you try to run? Or option C, something else.
Fight the darkness. Yeah, no. I think Hobba's gonna try and run, but Nero's gonna stay.
Fair enough. Okay. Abba turns on heel and begins moving back, as is sort of the natural way they share when there's a threat facing them.
Mhm.
Inevitably, overwhelmingly, the darkness will arrive, and it will find Nero first. And when it does, for Nero, it is like stepping through a waterfall. There's a great amount of pressure. And then suddenly he feels himself kind of arrive through the threshold. And almost opposite of where you woke up, it is pure darkness. But perhaps for Nero, this is a bit more familiar. It's quiet. But not unnaturally so, like the other place. And then, behind Nero, speaking over his shoulder, is a voice. I believe you've lost something. Are you still looking for it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to know how to find it?
I do.
You must seek out the rune-scarred man again. He has what you seek.
Nero gets really wide-eyed at that.
Do you want to know where to find him?
Yeah, yes. Yes.
When you and your other half are ready, seek him out at the Dagger Pass in Belmont. He hides there in a cave. When you confront him, you will know what to do.
Nero just kind of shakes his head. Yeah. Yes.
But then, do not allow your other half to run as he did here, or else what you seek will be lost. And eventually you snap around, sensing the presence having left. And there's this very strange moment where you realize the darkness behind you stopped. And off in the distance, in a stark line drawn almost across this enormous, impossibly enormous room, in the white plains of the other place, is Abba. Nero standing on the other side, surrounded by darkness. A perfect contrast in the two halves. Is there anything Nero wants to say to Haba?
I think, and I don't know how much more you have planned for this dream scene, but I do kind of want to cap it off with
Hey,
Nero just say,
Call you.
"Why did you run?" And I think that's before, when they'd wake up. After that,
Nice.
yep.
Oh, we'll deal with any fallout from that after our next moment.
Yes, I almost thought I was muted again. Just because, sorry, it was just because of this Discord thing. Because like I just see three of me, and I see
no one's talking.
I thought I was
Yeah.
unmuted because of the Discord thing. What a peculiar thing. You want to criticize society, and yet you participate in it.
Oh, you.
Coward.
Times knew they could not
Coward.
change society, but instead of reflecting upon themselves, they turned and blamed the beasts.
So, some other time in the night, in the same room, funnily enough. Sure. You, similarly to Habanero, wait, find yourself in the grips of slumber. At one point, you are startled awake by a voice beckoning to you. And it startles you only because of how familiar it is. And at the same time, you know you haven't heard it for a while. When you look up, you find yourself in familiar surroundings. It's the bright, sunny afternoon in a small square in the 2nd District. There's a fountain in the middle, bubbling away with this stone statue of Arstia Heartsmith. And sitting on one of the white stone benches nearby, clad from head to toe in armor, is a face you've not seen in some time. Claire.
I think Core sees it. There's a moment of hesitation, but then he just begins approaching, slowly.
Why are you acting so afraid?
I've just been doing a lot of thinking. The core gets maybe about 5 feet away,
Mhm.
gaze averted. For he gazes up, staring at them, brow furrowed.
Not very much
One-
like you not to speak your mind.
All right. What the hell is this?
Something you've been wanting. Or did I misunderstand?
Is it really you then?
Her face noticeably turns a bit sadder. Not all of me. A piece.
Well, you know, beggars can't be choosers.
Memories are fuzzy. I know who I am and how I would choose to make choices. But a lot of my earlier life is all kind of a blur. But I also see the things you've been doing. I know those things.
Let me just say I'm proud of what I'm doing.
As you should be.
I'm gonna look you in the eyes. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna forgive myself for what happened. I can't just keep reliving it. That day is burned into the front of my mind. It's a little funny the way the things have kind of played out, actually. I've been thinking about, up until I met all these people, about picking a fight I didn't think I could win. It was either that or run away. I was angry about everything that was happening. And everything that happened to you. About how sick and twisted this city is. What it does to people like us. And here I am, about to pick a fight with Constantine. And it really feels like the same thing. Except I guess I intend on winning this one and coming out on top.
There's a difference between your two choices, Cor. One was a coward's act. The other, the one you're choosing to follow, is what a hero would do. And you've surrounded yourself with good people, at least well-meaning people.
I think they're good people.
Also, found yourself on all sides with something you've never really had much of. Family. You've seen many families since you started down this path.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do about? I did the thing where I interrupted you about to speak and say something.
Feels like you have a pressing question you should ask.
What are you expecting from me?
Right, kinda.
I feel like doing this, whatever's going on with this necklace, whatever's going on between us, I feel it helps me just as much as it helps you.
Her head tilts to the side in thought. I found myself, when I managed to pull myself all together with my small glimpse into the world in the form of the necklace you carry. And when I realized that, I had to think for myself why I was here and not somewhere else. And in my time of consideration, I've come to the conclusion that with how things transpired, that in my heart of hearts, even though I died in a way I considered worthy, I knew you would still need some help. She smiles very softly. I'm here as a guiding light.
Well, I'm told that passing on right about now is probably a really, really bad idea. So you better not ditch me anytime soon.
I make no promises. I don't really know how long I will stay here. I just kind of feel like I'm still supposed to be here. So I think if that changes, then I'll go, and I don't have much of a say in it.
Jeez. I was planning on taking your armor. by the way.
And for what purpose?
I'm waging a war.
Think it'll fit you? She stands
And
up
it's
now
a,
from the bench.
well, it's not a matter if it's gonna fit me. It could fit me. But if not me, I know someone who would make really excellent use of that armor. I know he's not gonna ditch me or the cause or anything like that. Maybe not the shield, maybe not the hammer, but that armor's always been something of a symbol. Whenever I could hear that clanking, whenever I saw that symbol blazing on the chest, I always got the sense of that things were gonna be okay. I know other people kind of got that too. The only thing we gotta really do is make sure we tighten up that neck guard just a little bit.
If it makes you feel any better, and if it matters, you have my permission to take it.
Alright, now I gotta convince whoever was in charge of. I've got a laundry list.
Yes, I can hear your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I thought you would have just gone back on with your wife instead of sticking around here for me. Feel bad about that.
It's difficult to explain. But I won't lose any time over there for having stayed here a little longer.
Cool. Now all I gotta do is try to convince people that when I talk to my necklace, I'm not crazy. When Estella hears voices in their head, it's perfectly fine.
I don't think anyone's okay with either of those situations normally. If it makes you feel any better, I feel like your situation's a little bit more normal by comparison.
Man, I don't even know. I have been thinking about what I'd say to you. If we could actually have a conversation for a while. Trading the necklace. It's a very one-sided thing.
As you should. Can't normally do this. This will not be a regular thing.
I mean, I thought I was just going
Seems
crazy.
relevant to do it now. So you know.
I don't suppose you really know much about these other things, these other games that these people are playing at. And I know your approach to things is not typically the approach that I would usually take.
Explain my memories are fuzzy.
Yeah, let's just say you don't have a subtle bone in your body.
No. With everything I've learned and the people you've spoken to recently, I suspect there is a reason why I ended up where I did early enough in my life, like I did. The
Well,
games that play in this city, well, and people like me try to change them and do so in a way that is very obvious, we tend to get crushed under heel.
was there anything that you remember me, or rather, is there anything that you need done?
She furrows a brow and plants a hand on the hip, really like earnestly thinking. But there's a little bit more than just like thought there. You can tell there's a little consternation. Right? She's really trying to pull something out.
I know we had somewhat different circles. I know there's some people who are still back, still alive.
Unfortunately, I can't really remember much. Even much in the way of names or faces are pretty fuzzy. I don't really have much to ask of you.
Okay, then, what do you make of this dragon thing?
She shrugs. You hear the creak of her armor. It's a dragon. How am I supposed to have an opinion formed on creatures that have apparently been extinct for thousands of years? I honestly don't know. It sounds incredibly dangerous. If it's actually alive or in a state like me, power could be derived from it, but it might eat up the person that uses it or influence them.
Right.
I honestly don't know.
Well, anyway, I guess, you know, I'm gonna do my best, Claire. I love you. I've already had this conversation though to the necklace. I don't really expect anything, but I thought I'd just say it to your face. Yeah. So do I just wait for this to end now? Do we just sit here in sunshine? I don't know how this works. This is kind of nice.
Well, since I don't know how often I'll be able to do this, I would prefer if you just sit here with me for a bit.
Let me just do that, and let me just reminisce on some times that we spent together, and I think maybe that would be good.
Or I could backhand you with one of my gauntlets, and that might wake you up.
You know, how about I just sit there and I just talk about
Mhm.
the Dawnflower and tavern.
Yeah.
And you know, the times you spent not in your armor, being pious and kind, and not marching upstairs to beat the ever living crap out of you know, those people.
Yeah, no, I think I'd like that.
Yeah. Do you want me to like make a roll here or something like that to recount stories, like
No, not
perform? Okay.
I think these are things you would know.
Yeah.
All right. So you sit back down with Claire on the bench. You enjoy the sunshine, the warmth, the songbirds that fly by and chitter in the air. And it seems like any normal day before everything transpired. Eventually, you don't know when it happens, but the morning comes and you wake up.
I guess at that point it's just time to go through the you know, morning routine. And unusually high spirits.
It is 6 a.m. A normal day, normal hours.
think Core's holding his necklace as he goes downstairs to meet with the party.
Okay. So I'm assuming you all will meet together for breakfast.
Yeah.
And you do so in the cafeteria, which is filled with the smells of someone already cooking. You find, as is normal, Amethyst working away in the kitchen with a bunch of enchanted cookware floating about and preparing vegetables and cooking various things. You begin to hear the sounds of the orphanage waking up for the morning. The other caretakers going from room to room, and you hear the repeated knocks and the gentle awakenings. Your seats are open. Is Rahaba and Nero going to prepare anything? Now I don't know if Greg is AFK or if he doesn't realize he's muted.
I didn't realize I was muted. I said
Okay.
not today. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Well, in which case, you enjoy a lovely breakfast of porridge, scrambled eggs, freshly baked bread, and strips of fried bacon. A very hearty farmer's breakfast. Yeah. By comparison to what habanero normally do, which really goes hard into various spices and flavor profiles. This is simple, but well seasoned. Eventually, while partaking of your meal, all the kids will begin slowly shuffling their way in. Various stuffed plushies and blankets being pulled behind them as they all sit down and get their meals brought to them. The day is yours.
Morning.
Good morning.
How'd you sleep? How's your hands?
Well enough. My one hand is still burned. I plan on visiting Star to have her look at it.
Okay. I just want to make sure. You were able to sleep okay with your hand like that then?
Yes.
Okay. I just really want to make sure that it just looks bad is all. I slept better than I think I've ever been.
Is there a reason for that?
I think Claire actually talked with me. It was a little surreal.
What did they say?
How much does Core recall? Is it like just perfectly clear?
It's very clear. Yeah.
Well, they were in their armor. They asked why I was afraid. And it took me a moment, made a comment, and they said they were kind of there. They were sticking around for a reason. They had to take a guess. And then we talked for a bit, reminisced, and I told her that there was something really funny I thought about the entire situation. About how before I had met you and gotten involved with everything that was happening, that I had been contemplating picking a fight with something that I didn't think I had any chance of actually winning, because the other option was turning my back on the city and walking away. And I kind of found myself in a situation that parallels that, except I have every intention on coming out on top as the top dog. It's a little weird how things have turned out. I had been thinking about some things, and Nero,
Yeah.
I want you to come with me to the 2nd District today.
Sure.
I have a suit of armor I'm going to pick up. It's probably
Oh.
gonna be a little complicated, but Claire gave me their blessing to pick up some things, and there's some clarity that I want from the day everything went awry, and it's pretty good armor. I just thought it'd be useful. And if
Thank
nothing
you.
else, it's a symbol. I've been mentally putting together a to-do list for today. So you're going to be going to stores then?
Yes.
All right. I need to make my way down there too. Shop, replace a few things.
I also have a brief stop to make in the 2nd District, conveniently.
Really, 2nd District?
She nods.
What's there?
The place where I live.
You live in the 2nd District?
Yes.
What? Get out of here.
Why?
I'm having a lot of trouble believing that.
She just raises an eyebrow, like, continue.
What's the appeal?
It's quiet and people don't recognize me there.
I don't know about quiet. All right, well, jabs
quiet.
aside.
Compared to where I work.
Okay, I'll give you that. All right. Well, jabs aside. All right. So, there's that. I gotta also touch base with Candace, and I'm gonna reach out to our friend. I think I kind of want you to meet them.
Okay.
Yeah. They're pretty good to me. It's been a while since I've seen them too. I gotta just remember where they actually are. Hor kind of like just furrows his brow. Dyer,
Mm-hmm.
where does Precious live?
2nd District?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cord says... Right, they live in the 2nd District. You know, I guess after everything that's happened, I guess that does make sense.
She nods. She's going to turn towards the twins. So I can't help but notice that you're not cooking this morning. Is everything okay?
I Haba just nods. In this
Ye-
case,
You okay, Abba? You haven't said a word.
Yeah. I think today I'll just let you and Nero do your business. I've got some other stuff I need to do.
Your Core kind of pauses for a moment. Hey, buddy, if there's something that's up, you can go to either of us.
No, it's fine. Cor.
All right, you say so. I'm just saying. That's all. It's just, hey, everybody gets shaken up every now and then.
I
So-
appreciate it.
Yeah, that's all. I just want to make sure.
And he will nod.
Any plans for the day for the both of you then?
I needed to do some shopping, and I know. Well, I think Nero is going to be joining Core to go pick up that armor.
Well, that's also in the second district. Lots of second district today. The only other thing I could tell you is, I had my own reasons for doing this, but, I thought I'd go see those elves. Core makes air quotes again.
Oh.
You had a weapon that you were wanting to buy in that area, didn't you, Nero?
Yeah, Fisher's Ward. I've got most of the money for it saved up now.
We should probably stop at Stars first, considering, if you need the extra money, you could probably get it from there. It sounds like we're gonna be making 2 shopping trips then. What was that? That was the 4th district, right?
Where?
The shopping thing, where the elves were. I
Yeah.
wasn't there for the
Yeah,
first part of
so-
the session,
Fish's
so I didn't
Ward.
take notes.
Yeah, it's in the Fisher's Ward.
Fisher's
so
Ward.
it's where the sirens are and where the magic shop is. They're
Okay.
both in the Fisher's Ward. So
Just
yeah,
outside the
it's
city.
outside. Yeah, it's outside the city.
It's the only nice place outside the city.
Sirens of
As
made
you
sure.
know. Yeah.
And I mean, the only other thing I could tell you is I actually was thinking about seeing if anything was going to be going on at the Octopus Arena. See if there was like a game or something. I figure I might as well try to enjoy things now before I get here and have to start thinking of all the witty, quippy things I'm going to say towards Consummate.
Out of character, just a reminder, is the ball tomorrow or the day after?
The ball is
After, right?
it is the day after.
Okay.
So yeah, you have the start. You have this day, the whole of tomorrow, and then about halfway through the day, before the circle ball commences. When in doubt, check it out.
All right, we have one of those.
You do, and I update it every time I mention a change in time. I'm updating.
Where's the we have a calendar? Where is this?
Okay.
Okay, well, you know what?
it's,
We'll talk
yeah.
about it. We'll
No,
sort that out.
no.
So it's fine. Super easy. You go to the planning tab and you click on the pin messages. Only thing in there.
Oh, okay. You literally use the same calendar that I used for my campaign, I think.
Yeah, I've been using this for years.
Awesome. All right.
Great calendar. Great people. Highly recommend. Go check out the fancy calendar.
Well, apart from my own brief stop in the second district to pay my rent, I mostly just want to talk to Star and Quill today. I'm reserving the majority of tomorrow evening to revisit that spa. I think it's about due.
I mean, after everything that we've kind of been through, yeah, I mean, hey, it was kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. But, I mean, if that's what you want to do on your own, that's fine. But maybe it would just be easier if we all kind of stuck together while we were going through things. I like company, and I mean, it's also safer, but also I'm kind of thinking about the company. I'm probably going to have a little bit of a time frame, though, with trying to reach Candace.
No, should we go to Stars first then, since it's nearby?
Let me drop the message off for Candy first, and then we'll go to Stars, because, you know, it's going to take them time to get there, and who knows how long we'll be at Stars. Pass enough time, I might be able to kill that immediately.
And Corey, you know, you can leave a location to meet Candace in as well. It doesn't have to be at the storefront.
Okay.
So if you know you're going to be at a location for a prolonged period of time, you could just tell her to meet you there, and she can go there. The trick really is her availability.
Okay. I'll think about the location. Probably just be easier to just say meet me at the second district at Precious's house. Or maybe like a location outside of that or something like that. Is there like a park or something like that? Or like just like a public thing? Okay, so there's a park.
Yeah,
All
the
right,
second district is home to one of the largest parks in the city.
Yeah. All right, I'll give them the location of the park and the second district.
Okay. The name of the park is the Heart Grove, for the record.
Okay. Oh, hey, look at this. I found Consonant's plan. Ah, what a relevant meme I found. Here you go. That's our bad guy.
I'm afraid. No, you just nailed it, actually.
These children are making me so smart.
So to beat him, we have to sacrifice Nero's brain so that he eats it and gets really dumb.
We have to start eating children to match his big brain. Clearly.
No.
Anyway, this is the witch war. Anyway. All right, I got that.
Okay. Well, you can finish up your breakfast and be on out of there by 7 a.m. Nice and early. It sounded like the first stop is going to be Stars.
I think so.
Think so. Yeah, we can all do that. I don't know how far away Candy's is. The
drop-off location?
Yeah.
It's not far. It's like only a couple of blocks from Stars.
Yeah, I don't need to do anything there. We could just kind of hand wave that. It's meet at this location and then make our way to Stars.
Okay, easy enough.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. In which case, you can make it to Stars after doing the rest of your morning ritual. Today is a bright and sunny day. It's currently only about 50 degrees out right now. So much warmer than the last few days I've been. Stars, the front door of the store is closed currently, but you can tell it's the open sign is currently turned around and welcoming to those that are early bird shoppers. You go through the door, and the familiar magical chime plays in the air. And much as become the ritual, you see the smiling red-headed woman pop up from between two shelves somewhere in the midst of the store. Good morning and welcome to Hi again. You guys really distant. You have money to spend today? Or are you here to sell me the stone?
I think a bit of both.
Actually, I'd like to talk to you and Quill if he happens to be around.
No, today is one of Quill's days off. Quill, I feel like I explained this already. Quill, basically, he works here 2 days out of the week. So you have to catch him on those 2 days.
Will he be here tomorrow?
No. He works here on Gornsu and Grod at the beginning of the week. So just think the double G. That's where Quill is. That's when Quill is here. If you need him, you probably would be better served going back to the orphanage and telling one of the caretakers there to get a message to him that you need to speak to him. Otherwise, Quill's usually very preoccupied with whatever shenanigans he's experimenting with at the time.
Well, I suppose I'll just speak to you for now then.
Okay, well, come on in. Make yourselves at home. Have you guys had? You want some tea? I can make some tea, maybe some coffee. Anything?
I'll take a coffee.
All right.
Tea sounds nice.
Coffee.
Well, then follow me on back here to the counter. And she leads you to the back side of the store with the checkout counter, the long wooden desk. She sweeps open one of the large red curtains in the back, and there's just like a small break room. And, she just steps back there and begins preparing some boiling water and getting 2 cups ready. So what did you guys need from me today?
Well, I spoke to the dragon inside of the Heartstone.
She immediately stops what she's doing and turns. Go on.
They seemed mostly just angry.
Yep, that would be an adjective used to describe a dragon.
But I did get a name. Candleroar, the Ashbringer.
She abandons all of the drink preparation and throws a bunch of things out of the way to find a piece of blank parchment. You see her scribble down the name and the title. Huh. That's very specific.
Yes, I spoke with them briefly, but it seemed more of a one-sided conversation, unfortunately, and it ended with them breathing fire at me before I snapped out of it.
Vision. Interesting.
Yes, I saw them. I was in a white space, empty, save for the 2 of us.
Ah, that makes sense. Any of you have a lot of experience with that place by chance? Or do I need to explain that?
Exposition would probably be nice. Don't mind me. I'm gonna start putting together a mental list of the things I actually need to pick up while I'm here.
Okay.
Shopping.
Yeah. All right. So, well, listen carefully. So this blank white place you mentioned. Don't worry, you're not weird or crazy. A lot of people go there. In arcane and magic circles, scholarly circles, they refer to that place as the lobby. The short version of this is essentially when you go to sleep, your spirit or your soul, whatever you want to call the thing that makes up your personality, apart from the blood and bones that keep you together, it is more open to being pulled away from it by visiting entities that can manipulate or otherwise interact with that. The lobby is the place of the in-between, basically the conduit for you and whatever is pulling you. And generally, if you're willing, that's where you end up. The lobby is more or less a big extra-dimensional space between all the other spaces in existence. Well, I guess not maybe in physical existence, in metaphysical existence. So it's also a way to travel between planes, but only partially, obviously, in your non-corporeal form. So you could actually get lost doing that and not wake up. So people don't dabble in it often, because if you do it often enough, the chances of it obviously are going to increase. But for the most part, when something visits you, it can also usually shove you back. So in the instance of a dragon doing it, that's interesting. I've never actually heard that before. That's a first. But it's good that you actually got back. Otherwise, it could, if it ate you, for instance, it might have actually you might have died. Well, your body would have been alive, but you would be a potato.
It's nuts.
Anyway, I hope that made sense.
It did. It's like a meeting area in between worlds.
Yeah, more or less.
I did have a small request.
Oh.
She will take off her one glove and lay her hand palm up. I understand that you're skilled in some healing magic.
Ow! That looked like that hurt. Yeah, I am sure. You guys have been doing us a lot of favors. I suppose I'd probably get flack if I didn't actually try to help you. And she'll walk over, and she'll just kind of place her palm on top of yours. And she's going to pump you with a 5th level Cure Wounds, which by the nature and power of the magic will heal the afflicted flesh and remove the debuff that you've been suffering from.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you are also loyal customers, so it's the least I can.
I am going to place a food order real quick. Give me one moment. I'm just jotting things down in chat while Quinn's doing this. Be right back.
Well, I suppose I also was curious if there was anything else that I need to know. I did awaken feeling somewhat different. Like a small piece of that anger was inside of me. I'm not sure if that was just residual from interacting with them.
Well, now you're getting slightly out of my area of expertise. But if I had to, take a stab at it, since whatever it was probably didn't have any, connection with anything, and you managed to make contact with it, you're probably just kind of sharing a link between the two of you. So you're probably feeling its strongest emotion, and it's probably feeling your strongest emotion.
Let's see. I assume that that's something I should probably be worried about.
Again, hypothetically speaking, you could be overwhelmed by his anger and go into a rage, and you begin wanting to kill everything and everybody around you. So, yes, probably be worried.
Well, I'll see about trying to control that then.
Well, you could always sell it to me and you don't have to worry about it.
Just gives her a flat look.
What? I'm gonna keep trying, obviously.
I know you will.
Otherwise, if you're worried about that really being a thing, nobody is the guy to talk to. Will also be able to help, but nobody's really the expert on like soul-related things. So I talk to him.
Okay. I'll put that into my schedule for the next 2 days.
Yeah, you might have a hard time reaching him though, with the circle ball and all coming up. He's got a lot of planning to do. Despite the fact that they say it's a neutral ground, they all make plans to make sure if somebody does try to do something stupid that, contingencies exist. It's kind of partially his job to make sure nothing happens.
Of course, you'd be a fool to go to a place like that and not be ready to kill somebody.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, his hands might be full. More or less, if you stumble into him at the orphanage, then you have an opportunity. Otherwise, I think if you call for him, he's probably just gonna ignore you until the ball is over.
Of course. Well, other than wanting to browse and see what you have on sale, I believe the other things I came here for pertain more to Quill. I've been told that my swords have some blossoming magic to them due to the length of time that I've carried them.
Well, that is fascinating. But you're right, that is a Quill thing.
And I was curious about making my own card for this deck that I stole from the Hag's Lair. I've been told that can prevent any unwanted interactions due to its nature.
An intriguing thought. So Quill would be the person you'd want to talk to for the theory on it. But as crafting cards, he's a very good enchanter, and he has creativity in his own right, but he's not very good at artsy things.
I assume that when it comes to the art part, it would only make sense that I be the one to try and do it.
Fair. Yeah. Like I said, if you want to talk to him about the theory of it, he would definitely have some words on it, as he does just about pretty much everything. Yep. And she finally got back to preparing the coffee and the tea at some point.
I had a inquiry. Corp says.
All right. Well, inquiry away.
Yeah. What do you know about, how do I describe it? Looks like a barrel with a trigger?
A gun?
Yeah.
Firearms?
Yeah.
Enough?
Someone. So, conversation with Circlehead got me thinking a little bit about it. And they mentioned nuts and bolts.
Right. That's technically... I realize because that's how people tend to refer to like the actual objects, but it's actually the other way around. Bolts is the inventor. Nuts is his familiar. For what it matters.
I didn't ask for specifics, but that's good
Okay.
clarity. Thank you. Well, I didn't mean from you. I meant from them. I didn't mean to. Yeah, I didn't mean to be rude. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I guess what are you angling at then?
I want to know about them, and I want to know if you think that they're worth using.
Okay. Well, she finally puts the coffee and the tea on the checkout counter. Let's see. They are fairly powerful. A lot of armor types have a hard time stopping them. Depending upon where you get them from, your mileage might vary a little. Albion is probably the predominant manufacturer of firearms, but they keep everything, for themselves and very closely protected, including the special black powder necessary to fire their weapons. So they're top of the line. If you can steal one, if you're really interested in the subject, then great. But then the problem is also getting constant supply of the powder for it. Otherwise, there have been quite a few individuals around the world trying to make their own and find their own various methods for firing things. Bolts is one of them, and he's been pretty successful. I don't know if you've met Gallo, but she has a couple of his experimental weapons on her, and they've proven to be pretty effective and without too many unusual side effects.
Yeah, I know Gallo.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's I wouldn't call her the expert, but she's probably the most prolific user of firearms amongst the adjutants at the very least. She eventually, like mid-sentence, is like walking into the store, the belly of the store, where eventually she stops at a shelf. And not quite what you saw on Lucinda's shoulder holster, but similar enough for you to go, ah, yes, barrel and trigger. She pulls a pistol off of a shelf. So they tend to be pretty reliable. Except, well, I guess, hang on, rephrase. In comparison to a crossbow or a bow itself, they tend to be slightly more unreliable. They sometimes can jam. They have a lot of moving parts, and that's perhaps the downside to them. The upside is a lot of power, very good distance. Once you learn how to use them, that is. You have to take a little bit of time to get to know them, and then of course you have to learn how to actually like take it apart and fix it in case it breaks. Otherwise, you got to go to a smith every time to have new parts made, or whoever the maker of the weapon is in particular. And then you have to buy ammunition, 2 types. You got to get the bullets for them, and she'll pick up a handful of ball bearings off of the shelf, essentially, and then pick up a sack of it's a plain like satin pack. Sort of picks it up, and some powder, whatever the corresponding type of fire-based principle that is being used to launch a projectile. I don't know. Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm more of a crossbow girl myself. But if you're really interested, I have a couple here for sale. And I do have one of Bolt's prototypes that he has given me for sale. If you want something that is also magic.
I am interested. What is the price range of these?
Well, a normal firearm. Hang on, I have a PDF for literally all this stuff.
By the way, Core has been sizing her up since he initiated the conversation, but has been letting her predominantly talk.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, the pistol that I'm holding, she sort of gestures with it, is 50 gold pieces.
50?
50. Let's see. Out of everything I have available here, she puts it back on the shelf, and she immediately sort of begins going up and down. I have also one of these, and she pulls something off that has a slimmer barrel that then widens into a much larger one that looks almost like a trumpet. I have one of these, really good for up close stuff. A little on the heavier side though. This runs 100 gold pieces. And if you really want to just not be near anybody and really want to hurt them, I have. No, I think I sold that. Scratch that. I do have something else which has got a little bit more oomph to it. And she goes down to the bottom shelf, and pulls up something that's basically twice as long as the other two. And has a lever on the backside of the handle of the stock. This definitely has a bit more punch to it. Better range than the other two. Also pretty good. But this one, again, prices keep going up. 200 gold pieces. And of course the experimental piece, which I have in the back, is if you're getting a feel for it, really expensive.
What is the price of it?
It's 5,000 gold.
Well, that's certainly jump up in price from 200 to 5,000.
Well, it's because these are just standard, average, everyday things. The experimental one is magical and has unique cartridges and a bunch of fun effects and things like that. So
Can be held in one hand.
She actually has something. Honestly, I'd have to go look at it.
I need something that I can hold in my offhand.
Right. You know, for the record, you could always probably, like, if you wanted to have one made for you, I can take down an order and present it to Bolts and see if you'd be interested in making something. Your requirements?
Yeah. I need it to be sized for someone like me.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer it to be a close range weapon. Something where the closer, potentially the more damaging.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for something that I can trust that is going to be well, magic is going to kind of be a must.
Right.
And that's kind of what we're looking at. Listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm planning on blowing Consummate away with this at some point.
No, that's fair. That is fair. All right. She pulls out a small notepad off of her belt. I forgot I had this earlier. She begins writing down everything you said. I will write up an order form for you and send it to Bolts, and if he agrees to it, I'll let you know what the rough cost estimate will be. Other than that, do you have anything like else particularly specific that you want from it? For instance, the experimental piece that's in the back, depending upon the cartridge that's loaded into it, can deal different types of elemental spell damage.
I'd be interested in something like that.
I also know another, for instance, he's working on currently a longer barreled one, a rifle, that can fire like, you know, instead of writing a spell into a scroll, he's been etching them into the projectiles to deliver them long distance, and that's also been something that's been very interesting. You know, so things like that.
These are all good.
You know, I'm just saying he's very creative. He's kind of the opposite of Quill in that direction. He does things that are a little bit more experimental, whereas Quill's very reliable. So really, if you have an idea, you know, he's willing to probably try, especially if it's a really interesting one.
The thing that I would predominantly want out of this is maybe something with interchangeable parts or something like that. Something that I could actually easily work with for my own, you know, purposes as I try to understand this. But I like all those ideas. It's certainly something I need to really put a lot more thought into.
Mm-hmm.
So how about this? I'll buy one of these in the meanwhile, because it's you see, you went very below my spending limit, and then you shot up way above my spending limit.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. So why don't we start off with the easiest one of these to handle for close range?
Okay, a pistol it is.
All right.
Jill grabbed the original thing she was showing off the shelf. How much shot and powder do you want?
What is so this ammunition is costly? It sounds like.
Yeah.
What am I looking at?
Simply put, it's a gold per shot and powder equivalent. So. Yep.
We'll go with 20.
Okay. So that will come to a total of 70 gold then. And
Yeah, I can pay that.
she grabs the pistol off the shelf. She grabs a small wooden box along with one of the various pouches on the shelf and walks it up to the front. Anything else you all need?
Core mentions the things that he's looking at getting, which I think I don't know how much 50 feet of hempen rope and 10 pittons go for. I know those other ones are 100, so I'm looking at 170 at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I know pittons are like inexpensive.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap.
I think this is like 171 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Other than that, Core would be looking for items that are specifically anti-mage. Which, by the way, do I get my thing for Star?
Yes, I was just gonna say that you did, and yeah, you're right. It's basically they're 5 copper per pit. So yeah, just round up to like 171 gold. Call it a day.
Okay. I have a lot more money on me than I thought. Okay.
That tasted really ugly.
It really did.
Allow me to just edit it while you tell me what you're going to be looking at for Star.
Proficiency compared to well, we've only got one person I can compare proficiency to, so that's gonna be proficiency compared to Zeke.
Okay.
That is his name.
Zeke.
Yeah, yeah. Also, it occurs to me I've never done this with Star.
Yeah, you have. I thought you did.
I don't have their name listed down. I think I did it maybe. I think I did it maybe early on, or maybe I elected to not do it. It seems more likely that I forwent it for the sake of Core not being rude.
Fair. Her proficiency is equal.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I have. Yep. I did not do them. I've kept track of everybody that I've done.
Fair enough.
All right. Level spell slots equal to Quill. Or compared to.
Yep. Equal.
Okay. That actually is really telling.
Equal power, but one of them's a wizard, the other's like a bard or something.
Or something.
Bard, cleric, warlock.
Who knows what Star is?
Factorium.
She's an enigma.
But yeah, I think that might just be what Core gets here as he just refreshes it, but like I said, and anti-mage things would probably be a thing. He would probably just say like he'll make a stop back later, but he'd be interested in seeing, cool, I need things for going into this thing with Consummate potentially, and not necessarily fighting. Core would make a point to say, is there anything that I could have on me that could be useful Like, is there magic tomfoolery that he should be expecting?
I don't know anything about him. So, yes. But also, we have a lot of things that help against people that wield magic.
All right.
We have cloaks and rings. We have Mage Slayer venom, like all kinds of stuff.
We should poison those bullets. All right.
You have put viper venom in your bullets core.
That bullet was poisoned. The aliens are poisoning their ammunition. All right. I think for the sake of keeping things simple, I'm going to think a little bit more about the options there. I'll have Core make a stop back later, because I don't want to spend all day shopping.
Sure.
And we can go to where they're going to be going next. I'm going to go pick up my food.
We'll
take
a break. We'll take a break.
Yeah, typical place.
Yep.
I have to talk to them about cheesecake anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Not for
wedding
any
next-
particular reason, you just want to talk about cheesecake. I get it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
You know.
And before Core hurried us out of the shop, I know Yelena also wanted to look at some stuff. So we're going to do that. And then after Yelena's finished, we're going to take a break, which gives Dawn plenty of time to, skedaddle.
Yeah.
So
Alright,
skedaddle.
I think just to like not make this like take any longer, I'll be looking around some of the stuff with Yelena as well, real quick.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
Star is open and available. What are you guys looking for? Lots of stuff here.
Yelena is looking for anything that is either fire related or anything that would help her in a martial fight. With the stipulation that she's looking to spend maybe around 1,000 gold, a little bit over if she has to.
And Nero is just looking for a sturdy-ish ranged weapon of some sort. And then if there's any wands or anything like that, Abba might take a look at those.
Okay. Well, in terms of fire-related things that are within about 1,000 gold range, Star has two things in mind, one of which is above the price range you've listed, so she doesn't actually go to it. The other one she does. And she walks up to this, just this bright red-orange cloak. And when she picks it up off of the hanger it's on, you hear as it moves and see at the bottom of the cloak as it shifts colors, kind of like staring into the flames at a campfire, and you hear it crackle. Well, this Quill has affectionately named the Fire Dervish Cloak.
She gives a smirk.
Yeah, maybe some inspiration there. I don't really know. But to put it simply, you can expend some of the magic inside of the cloak. And when you do, you can unleash a flurry of fire around you in an area and hurt a bunch of people. And for those that you scorch, they are temporarily distracted, and you can move away from them without them being able to attack.
Interesting. How much would that cost?
This is 1,200 gold.
Can I get a discount because it matches my aesthetic? It works.
Make a persuasion check.
Average.
She looks at you with a really flat face. Wouldn't believe how many times I hear that when it comes to adventurers coming here trying to buy stuff from me. Fine. 1,150 gold.
I'll take it.
Very well.
And she'll just throw it on.
Yeah.
That looks nice.
Nice.
As for you, big guy, do you have a budget?
Out of character, real quick.
Mhm.
How much time did I have left to pay off the sword?
That is the
So-
fine question. I have a date. Let me double check. Because, yeah, I absolutely wrote it down somewhere. Because this came up. You had 1 month from the day.
And it's
I really need to figure out what day that is. I have to go back and look at it. Basically, you still have about 3 weeks.
about 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Okay.
at minimum. You probably have a little bit more than
Yeah.
like 3 weeks and a couple.
All right. And as it stands right now, I'm about at like I'm like around like 1,600 gold right now. So probably around 400 gold, somewhere around there.
In the hundreds. Okay. You want a ranged option for the big fellow, and maybe something pointy and magical for the other. All right. Well, options are a little on the limited side. I have. You just want to hurt people with it?
I mean, that's usually what a weapon does, but
Well,
what did you have in
well,
mind?
so some things have some utility to them. So I have a hand crossbow here. Again, not very big, and not as great in the range category compared to other things, but it has the unique property that you can load it with the length of rope, and you can fire it to latch it into high places that you can't reach and then climb.
Oh, this sounds like a core item. I might buy this for core, actually. How much?
150 gold.
Anything else?
On the other side, and again, a little bit more mundanely so, I have a longbow over here, and she goes over and pulls this longbow staff off of one of the walls. It's like 3 feet taller than she is. This, when it's strung and fired, the creature you hit, it will create a magical barrier between you and it, giving you some cover from their attacks. But then it will switch. Any new targets you hit it with will switch to the barrier.
See. How does that? I'm assuming this give like cover, like
Yes.
like
It's so
half cover or something.
so if you hit a target with it, it gives you half cover against their ranged and spell effects. So yeah, a +2 basically.
Neat. All right. And then any magic items? They're not magical, just like magic, like wands and stuff like that.
Wands. Well, suppose the real question is, kind of like before, what do you want them for? Do you want it specifically for hurting people? I have one, and it's honestly kind of funny. Will was, I think, drunk when he made this one, which is even funnier to me. It's a wand that allows you to basically, if you're drunk, it allows you to. It makes you a better liar and storyteller.
That is funny, but with the stuff with Constamon, I know I'm lacking when it comes to the offensive side of things. Just anything, even if it's just as a just even if it's just a last resort.
Well, the problem with that is, and I understand where you're coming from, your ask and your price range don't really fit that well.
I figured.
Like, I have some options, but they're all in the 4-figure range.
I see.
Yeah.
Hmm. It's fine. But actually, I'll take that crossbow, that hand crossbow.
All right.
Yeah.
No problem. Nabs it off the shelf and walks up to the front. No problem at all. 1 rope caster for the twins.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to wrap this up for you? You're just going to carry it out.
No, I'll just carry it.
All right. She sits it down on the counter. Does the purchase. Writes out the receipt. Well, if you come in and need more money, or if you really want to take that advance on the hag parts, I could probably work with you a little more.
Duly noted.
But you still got some time before the circle ball.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Having said, I'll be honest with you. You really probably shouldn't pick a fight with Constamon there. I'm just, between me and you, that sounds like a terrible idea. Like, they tend to act like pretty aggressively towards people that try to sort of break that sacred trust of grounded neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you do, definitely come back here and spend all of your life savings first. So that way, if you do die, it doesn't go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there was this. Yelena will take out that gilded skull and place it on the counter.
Oh, right, the spell component. Lovely. Just sort of grab it, admire it again, set it back down, and then reach under the counter and pull up a lockbox. And the agreed upon price. How do you feel about 300 gold?
It's fine with me. I have no use for it. I don't think anybody else does.
Well, then no problem. Do you want it in gold or in platinum? Or gems?
Platinum. She raises an eyebrow at the gems.
What? I can give you like a 300 gold gem. It's simpler.
I think platinum will do fine.
All right, 30 platinum it is. She counts out the 30 platinum and stacks it neatly on the counter. And then sort of nonchalantly, you watch as she takes the spell component and just sort of throws it over her shoulder, over one of the curtains.
Do we hear a clank?
You don't. Anything else you're forgetting?
I suppose, any good taverns that could use a good performance?
I'm back.
You missed it. I bought a grappling hook. Go on.
Oh, God.
He did.
He holds it the wrong way and he just spears himself in the chest.
Yep.
I mean, do you want it local?
Local or somewhere within a district or two. Place I could get to today without too much hassle.
Locally, there's always the Square Castle. It's one of the larger places here. They always need entertainment. They pay pretty well. Food and drinks are good. I know of a place or two in the 10th district, but you really need some reputation to get a job in either of those. And they tend to be smaller, more inclusive club-like scenarios. In terms of the other direction, going towards the second, they're a bit more tame over there, but there's a place over there called the Violet Stone. They always need something to spice the joint up.
I'll keep them both in mind. See where I end up with free time.
Yeah, just let him know that Star sent you. That should give you a little traction at least.
Other than that, I don't think I have any more business. Thank you for the tea.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you again for healing my hand.
Of course. Anything for a loyal customer. Don't allow me to keep you guys waiting too much longer. Feel free to skedaddle. Plenty of things to do today.
Yeah, I'll say. Thanks for that. I'll let you know how the pistol works out.
Please do.
After you were talking about how exclusive they were, I was really worried you weren't gonna have anything here.
Small selection. But again, we get some imports from Kendrasa, so we always have something.
All right. Well, if you happen to see Gallo, could you direct them to me?
Yeah. If I see her, I will. I probably won't though. She's doing a lot of guard duty in the 6th district right now. So
Yeah, that's pretty. That's kind of out of the way. All right.
It
Just
is, yeah.
figured it, happenstance.
Yeah. If I do, I will. But that's where I know her post is for the time being. She'll after the circle ball. After the new guards are installed. Anyway, if you find yourself coming in any more money, feel free to stop by. Or if you need some scratches and bruises taken care of, I also I can do that. Or any other magical dead bodies, like I'll also take those. As long as it's legal and the magical dead body doesn't belong to a resounding figure in the city.
We got it.
Don't show up with constant, please.
What if we put a mustache on it first?
I mean, he might have a mustache. You might have to shave it first.
No, he doesn't. Anyway, let's not talk about that.
We never mentioned him.
Exactly. All right, you guys have a good morning. Thanks for shopping at Stars.
I know what I'm gonna say now.
To
Him.
Constamon?
Yeah, I gotta figure it out.
What are you going to say?
I don't want to say it right now.
He'll lose his edge.
It'll lose its touch. It'll lose its impact.
If you say so.
Uh-huh.
This is something you want to say to them at the ball, or something you want to say when we inevitably end up trying to kill them?
Look, I don't want to do like the cliche like one-liners because you never know what it's going to be or whatever. I'm not planning that far in advance. I just had a line I was thinking of in my head, and I thought it would be kind of clever. It would be like a play off their word, their name. And I mean, if it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up.
Please tell me you're not planning on saying something like, I'm going to take Constamon to the constable.
No.
Please tell me it isn't a pun.
No, it's not. It's not a pun. Okay, fine. You want to know what it is?
I have less interest.
All right. Suit yourself.
All right. Funnily enough, we used up a lot of time. We're gonna take our break now. Roughly about 10 minutes. That way, Don can also eat in peace. So we'll aim for about 15 past the hour.
Sounds good to me.
I was about to say, I think Yelena's skimming a little. That wasn't. That doesn't add up at all.
Wait, no, 300 gold, not 30.
Anyway, yeah. We'll be back. We'll be back at 15 past. So take a break. Stretch your legs.
Yeah.
Get some water. Eat food.
I got quesadillas.
I've returned.
Welcome back.
You did it.
I'm assuming Greg is going to get a cup of coffee or drink.
They vanished into the night like a vampire. Which is impressive because it's noon.
He's become a mushroom person.
Calling the Badgers.
I have quesadillas.
Nice. That sounds delicious.
Yeah, they make them pretty good over there. Which is really funny because they're right next door to a Mexican restaurant. Not really fond of their food, though. It's only kind of okay. I also picked up cupcakes while I was there.
Yeah. Like you every week, you just made me go, man, I really want a good cupcake. Like I can make cupcakes at home, but I really just want one of those really fancy bakery cupcakes.
They make theirs with like a cream cheese base for the icing, and the rest of it is like a pretty like solid like cake. I got salted caramel, and I got the mocha espresso again.
I literally like
Talking about coffee, how dare you?
watered in my mouth. It's delicious.
Hey, how dare you talk about coffee? Don.
Yeah, Don, how dare you?
Yeah. I haven't had a cup of caffeine in like 3 or 4 weeks now.
I'm talking about cupcakes.
Did you go through your withdrawals already?
Yeah. Still am to an extent.
Yeah, you will be.
I drink.
You were a long time drinker.
I'm drinking coffee since I was like 16. Yeah. I'm 23 now, so like yeah, like I'm 7 years.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna be feeling it for a little bit then.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we're all back.
Mhm.
All right. In
Yay.
which case, we will begin again. As you were all exiting Stars after having made a couple of purchases and had a couple of conversations. My understanding is you are heading towards the 2nd District now. You.
Yes.
Believe so.
Very good. Assuming you're going to catch a carriage, or do you want to walk there? The walk is about 30 minutes on foot.
Let's just walk for once.
Yeah, it's like the only time where it's not super pressing time-wise where we can afford
Mhm.
to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a little bit of banter between Yelena and Kor about Kor saying that he knows exactly what he's going to say to the consulate. But then he never divulges it. And then Yelena says they lost interest.
Well, I guess with that out of the way, you can arrive into the 2nd District, crossing through the large archway in the wall that separates them, where the streets are active. You can see there are many people going about the early chores of the start of their day. Where are you going first? You guys actually have a bit of a to-do list here.
I think the first thing Kor would ask is, so, I don't know where in relation your place of residence is to everything else. So that might help with us planning out how we're going to be going to these places.
Suppose that's a question. Is it conveniently near the park or anything like that?
Because the only thing I think I have established is Precious's place is probably near like one edge of the park. Can you just imagine if like they're just neighbors?
Well, I guess this is the question. Does Yelena pay for something out of the way, or did Yelena pay for something that was a little bit more pricey? Because living near the park is more expensive.
I think that depends on just how expensive.
Probably about twice the cost. So rent for a month. I guess we've never actually talked about this, huh? Or did we? Do you have a number?
I don't think we ever talked about it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. In which case, I would say rent for a like a small apartment suite anywhere in the second district for a month is 2 gold. A suite that is bordering the park is 20.
She'll probably have one that's a bit tucked away, out of the way. It's not that she can't afford the better one, but she doesn't need all of that.
Fair enough. In which case, it is up to you whether or not if you want it to be close enough to the park. Because just because it's not bordering the park doesn't mean it can't be nearby.
I don't live in any of the places that border the park, but it's not a terribly long walk, a few blocks.
All right.
I can split off and then meet you back there.
I mean, if you want, Cora says as he's kind of like thinking a little bit about like what the inside of his apartment looks like. Just get in there, just be like, "Damn, you live like this." Cora just thinks. I mean, if you want. I don't think it'd be too much trouble. Think it might be, like, maybe okay? I mean, I don't want to get touchy about, like, anything involving your personal life, you know?
Really nothing special to look at.
Well, maybe just knowing where your residence is, like, just in case there's an emergency. Yeah, that seems practical.
Alright, well, I'm just going to be going in and paying rent, so...
Yeah, no, I mean, there's... You know, I've never owned, like, a house or a property or anything like that. You know that, right? Is there, like, a box that you put it in?
Just gonna start walking.
I'm, of course, following.
It's funny,
Like a
but it's also really honest.
Is it like a rent box? If I don't ask you, who am I gonna ask, Elena?
I assumed you were joking. You don't... If I had a box to put my home in, why would I need to go somewhere to...
Now you're just making yourself sound like a cat.
You can't carry your home with you. Unless your home is very sad, I suppose.
Oh, haha. Well, home's for the hardest, Elena.
My heart is in my chest.
It's really hard to live in that. So, what is there a person? Is it a landlord?
Yes, I pay rent to be able to live. It's cheaper than buying property.
I mean, I just grift.
I like to have a place to keep my things.
Uh-huh.
You have enough money, you could probably rent someplace. It's not that expensive.
I mean, I would bounce from place to place depending on where I was. I never kept a place that was really close. It was only after I started functioning more inside the walls of the city that I really started paying attention to some places. I'd stay in some of the inns a little bit longer than others. Get a nice feel for maybe how a lot of districts are. Some a little bit more. Some are, of course, a little bit more welcoming. And then there's some times when you just don't have money, and then you just gotta make do with really whatever you can.
I'll tell you right now that staying in inns costs a great deal more than just having a place that you rent.
Yeah, but if you have a place that you rent, it's easier for someone to find you and slit your throat when you're sleeping. I'll just leave it at that.
There's a reason that I keep my own place of residence away from where I work.
Smart.
And on that cherry note, making your way through the second district, you know, being regularly greeted by the various people that are going about their activities in the morning, the pairs of peacekeepers you see walking around on their patrols, giving you a nod and a smile. You'll eventually, circling a little wider around the Heart Grove, cut down a couple of streets, and you will arrive at a modest gray brick building, 4 stories tall, very square and angular. A lot of dwarven influence in the architecture in this particular block. And this is where you live, Yelena.
She will make her way inside.
The interior of the lobby is, nice. There's a couch off to the left with a small little coffee table, 2 planters, with these beautiful, they're like stocky wooden plants that kind of curve and twist at unusual angles, and they've got these very pretty small pink blossoms growing out of smaller branches on the end. On the right, however, there is a desk with a balding late 50s older human who has these very warm brown eyes, and he's currently got a small set of gold spectacles on his nose, and he's reading over some paperwork at the moment. When you guys enter, and he sort of perks up and slowly puts it down. Oh yes, Yelena, welcome back.
Hello?
This is Hackett. He's the building manager.
Good to see you, Hackett.
Just so you know, there's some maintenance going on in the coming week. Someone will be coming by to check on the pipes in the room. Do you have a day you'd prefer someone to stop by?
Any day is fine. I'm just stopping by to pay rent. There's a decent chance I might not be back for another little while.
Oh, very good. We can take care of that now, and you can be about your busy schedule then.
Yeah, then she'll step over, pulling out her coin purse.
He pulls out a ledger and a small wooden box from one of the desk drawers and kind of flips through it. Well, as it stands, you're currently up to date, so for this month it will just be 2 gold pieces.
I'll pay ahead a month in advance as well. She'll put 4 down.
Very well. Take the 4 and stash it into the box. Then you'll see him scribble in the ledger, and then tear off a small slip, and tear off a second small slip as well, and then hand them both to you. These are basically just to make sure you have proof that you paid for rent.
She'll pocket them.
Very good. Thank you.
Out of curiosity, has anybody come around looking for me recently?
No, but now that you've mentioned it, there was a parcel delivered for you. Give me a second. I will go fetch it. And he gets up and he walks to the door that's just behind him. You hear him rummage around through some things, and he comes back out with a small box about 6 by 8 by 6. And it's wrapped in brown paper tied off with twine. And he walks out and he sets it on the desk in front of you, and then goes back behind and very carefully settles himself back into his chair. This arrived for you about a day ago.
Let's see. Thank you. She'll pick it up. What should I say? Well, I will be back at some point, I'm sure, but things have been keeping me busy.
Perfectly understandable. As always, we will keep your place. Look forward to seeing you again.
Nods, and she'll carry the package out.
And you go back out into the day's sunlight.
Once they're outside, she holds the package down towards Core. Can you look at this for me?
Yeah, of course.
Investigation check.
So below inspiration, sure.
But you might have a conversation with the dragon at the end of the session.
Well, I've got
Regret not having all of your inspiration.
Hey, I have 2 more. Listen.
You never know what's going to happen.
That's what I thought.
You're right, in 18.
Okay.
Unless Yelena happens to be helping me out for whatever reason, I don't know. I wasn't thinking about that. Whatever. So, okay.
Well, makes you feel better. Upon inspecting the parcel, very delicately, running a thin knife under the twine and checking the paper and feeling for weird edges or anything that might be etched into whatever is inside. Nothing seems unusual about it. Really just seems like a, average wrapped delivered parcel.
Seems good.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Well, if we explode, I'm blaming you.
Well, you know what? That would be right.
She will begin opening it up as they walk.
Okay. You pull the twine and it comes open easily, and the paper kind of just unfurls as it would, and inside is a small, 8 by 6 by 8 wooden box.
You want me to check this one too?
Is there any writing, a letter, or anything accompanying it?
There is, in fact, on top of the box. It's just a simple little note card.
She'll read that.
It is written in Dwarvish,
Great.
and it says, "To my favorite dancer."
You see Elena visibly grimace as she reads the note. Yes, I'd like you to check this. I doubt that it's trapped. It's probably more of a message.
All right. Well, I might see a dragon at the end of the session or something.
Look, Core doesn't know he just rolled a 1.
I know he doesn't. I know he doesn't know he rolled a 1. Core will kind of say, I didn't see anything. Yeah, and then he'll just like pass it off.
Elena will slowly open the box.
And as you do, it opens easy on well-greased hinges, and inside the box is the curved ritual branding knife that was used to mark. It's inlaid into this beautiful red satin, like inner lining. There was like no expense spared on this. The presentation, the box, the interior, everything about it is exquisite. The knife is gold hilted with a large blue gemstone set into the hilt. The edge is perfectly smooth and razor sharp, but even then it's hard to forget what it was used for.
She'll definitely pause and stare at it. Very slowly reach in, take it by the handle.
That's looks pretty valuable.
At a glance, easily a couple hundred gold.
But I mean, it's gotta mean something, right?
You can see that, like, she's gripping the handle to the point where if she wasn't wearing gloves, her knuckles would probably be turning white. Her hand's shaking a little bit. He's delivered me the knife I plan to kill him with. She just very quickly puts it back in the box and shuts it.
You grip the knife any tighter, you're gonna break all your nails. You wanna find out exactly who the sender was? I bet I could do a little bit of digging around and trace it back.
I know who sent it.
Yeah. But do you wanna know who the carrier boy was?
No.
Alright. You gonna be okay?
Yes.
Do you need a moment?
She just keeps walking.
Alright. You say so.
She'll put the box away in her bag.
Speaking of which, what direction are you guys heading in?
Let's go. The park. Speaking with Candace is on the way to Precious, so probably that way since we're like near the park and everything.
Sure.
We'll get the armor last.
Yeah, it's not difficult to cut up, and towards the park. And the park is huge. It is probably it's the center part of the second district. The second district is probably half park, half everything else. With the center larger court area further north, whereas the park is this triangular shaped entity that points towards the center of the city. It has a lake, numerous rivers, perfectly, beautifully crafted dwarven stone bridges, several benches, and tons of places to lounge and just enjoy yourselves. It's beautiful and a very stark difference compared to what the rest of the city.
I think as they're arriving, Cora's gonna break the silence. I'm just gonna say, Yelena,
Yes.
don't let them get in your head. They want to get you flustered so you make a mistake. And if they're able to send something like that to you on whim like that, well, you know. Let's just keep our A game, alright?
I know.
Okay. Just trying to be helpful, okay? You got friends. And I want to introduce you to one of my friends. First this.
She nods. Funnily enough, the dragon and Yelena's emotions are very much in sync right now, I think.
If anything, it made Yelena, versus any of the conflict she would have normally really felt, it just immediately switched to pure red hot blazing anger. There was no mixture of emotions. It went straight into rage and fury. And I think even Yelena would sort of be able to acknowledge the influence of how dramatic that was.
Looks like she's definitely taking some time to try and calm herself.
So I assume we arrive at the meeting site.
You do. One of the various lovely picnic spots, overlooking the lake. It is very difficult to miss. The long, red-haired woman, currently reclined on a bench, with her heels kind of kicked out. She's in, for the first time, and it's unusual, she's actually dressed in her regular clothes, not in her Osaworn armor. She's sort of sitting there barefoot, just kind of like with her feet in the grass, kicking back, enjoying the sun on this warmer than average day in the middle of winter.
Look at you.
Yeah, what about me?
This is a rare sight.
Everyone's got to learn how to take it easy at some point.
Uh-huh. How you doing?
I was enjoying a nice lazy morning with a cup of coffee and a delicious flaky baked pastry, reading a good book in my cozy home, and then I got a message. Now I'm here.
As always, here to ruin your day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start off with some good news.
Yeah, how's everything been going?
Hags are dead.
That is good news.
One of them got away, but 3 of the 4 members of the Coven are dead. The kids are safe.
Yeah, I'll call that a victory.
Yeah, I would too. But I had news that you're not going to be too pleased with.
There's always a downside. Go on.
Yeah. Well, we know who they're working for.
Okay.
Consummate.
Check. Kind of gives you just a bit of a quirked eyebrow. You're gonna have to tell me a little bit more about
Really bad news. Man who is in the inner circle of the 4th district, very powerful. Top dog, runs with
Right.
the district circle head, basically. We're picking a fight.
Oh,
We're going to the circle ball.
how the hell did you guys get invited?
We met with the circle head of the 6th.
Huh.
Consummate has pops.
She like half rolls her eyes and heavily sighs, and just closes her eyes for a moment. All right. Is there any more bad news you need to deliver? Seems to be piling up all of a sudden.
I have a gun.
Yeah, that is bad news.
I don't know. I just like imagine like Cora like pulls it out, twirls it, and just fires a shot in the air, and there's just a crowd that goes right screaming.
Bells begin ringing off in the distance.
That's how we just ruined this nice picnic just by the gun discharging into the air.
How they usually
yes-
end in the south, dude.
Yes, Yosemite
Speaking from
Sam.
experience.
So Core just says, well, I guess it might also be interesting news, but turns out that the Tetris girl that the hags were imitating was actually alive.
Hmm.
Saved them.
That's good. They pay you for it?
Yeah, pretty handsomely at that, actually.
Good.
I was more interested in making friends, but I never turned down money. Came out all this way to also see Precious. Was thinking about wrapping up everything with Claire. Thought I'd get a few things in order before I make this leap, and well, it's gonna be an uphill battle. But hey, this is the fight that I want to pick. It's the fight we all want to pick.
You're gonna need a lot of friends for this core.
I know.
You realize probably not all of them are gonna survive, right?
I know. This is why we're having this conversation now. I know how this is gonna go. Anyone I know becomes a liability. We've got friends here, but also I'm gonna need more than that for this. I can't just let this go. Not when this sick freak is eating kids.
You see Candace have a moment of like really dark realization as she just kind of meets your eyes and goes, "That's what was happening?"
Yeah. And he's got his hands up pops. I can either roll over and let all this happen, or I can do something about this. And one of my friends, one of our friends, was killed by his goons. I haven't forgotten Tiger. If he's not stopped, he's just gonna keep doing this.
Well, I can't officially join your crusade. You know that, right?
Yeah, I'm aware, which is why I need to get to the bottom of, what this crap is about. Between the Orsworn and the adjutants.
She shrugs. Again, I don't know jack about it. You got to speak to people higher up the totem pole for that. But I can help. I'm willing to help in as unofficial a capacity as I can. You know, going through the rumor mill and gossips And gossip is necessary for information.
Yeah.
Stealing small things if you really need me to. And as much as I'm sure several people would be really interested in doing something, we can only do things on the mistress's orders. So
Who do I have to go through to meet with higher people within the Oathsworn?
really, no one. You want him? She almost starts the question and she partially laughs. Do you want to meet the mistress?
Yeah,
I can arrange it for you.
do it.
I don't know when it'll be.
Doesn't matter. So long as it doesn't interfere with the ball, I'm sure they'll probably be there, whether I know it or not.
Check back at the delivery place in the first district in a couple of days. I'll have something sent there for you to let you know the time and place.
All right. I'm taking this as serious as possible. You know
Oh.
that. And
Yeah.
listen,
Fair warning. She's intense. There's a reason why people are afraid of her. There's a reason why circle heads are afraid of her.
I'm dealing with people who are weight classes above me. What's one more?
What I've always liked about you, Cor. You have a stupid amount of bravery, and I respect that.
Anyone else who's gonna stand in my way can go to hell in a handbasket. I'm taking this goon down. And that's that. I'll set this entire city on fire if I have to. Now that being said, I thought maybe you'd be interested in meeting with Precious, because it's been a while. They don't live that far away.
Well, it has been. I check up on them from time to time. I feel like it's about due.
I'm way overdue.
I can tag along.
I think I'd like that. Oh. There is something.
Something more.
Elena,
Yes.
our problem. Your problem, that's our problem. We could probably use this as an opportunity to get something of a start on that.
If you trust them and want to tell them about it.
Well, Candace has saved my life.
You guys know I'm sitting right here, right?
Uh-huh. My friend, Yelena, she's got a problem from their past that's coming back in a pretty hard way.
All right. And what do you want me to do about it?
Well, they're getting a foothold in the city. I think it's starting. I have to actually pull up the name.
Any information you can get on Kadir suddenly.
All right. I mean, you want illicit stuff or just the basics? Because you could probably just go to a brokerage and ask. Pay the fee and get the public information on it.
I want to know the kinds of things that he doesn't want other people to know.
Okay. She gets up and kind of does like a big long cat stretch on the bench. Well, I suppose my few days off I can spend doing some research.
I think Cora's gonna start leading the way to the house.
there anything about this Khmer I should know about that might get me killed if I misstep?
He's a slaver. And quite honestly, you might be within the realm of his type. So don't get caught.
She grimaces very noticeably.
He's a high-profile dwarf. What was it? What are they? Yelena, one of the like their warlord?
He was one of the big six.
And you want me to spy on him?
I'm not expecting you to do anything that will put you in danger. If it's too much, then it's too much.
Yeah, you can certainly bet I'm not going to. Yeah, all right.
I don't want you to kick a hornet's nest. I just thought,
As a favor, you can certainly bet I'm going to mark it down. I will go do some delicate sleuthing. And if I feel like I'm in danger, I will get out. Big Six, man. What did you do to piss him off? Jeez.
I escaped.
All right. Point made.
just to give you context, they've found Yelena and they know where she lives, and there was a parcel wedding at the house. They sent a message. This is going to be a problem, and I mean, hey, fighting above my weight class.
Yeah, understatement.
I guess I'll just, everyone at once.
Yeah, why not pick two fights with incredibly powerful, blood-hungry, influential, slave-taking, children-eating lunatics in the city? Why not? It seems like a completely reasonable choice to make for someone who wants to live.
I think I'll pick a fight with the guy while I'm at it.
You could. There's a big list of them, and I'm sure, as a matter of fact, go to the 7th District or just go talk to Seshok. I'm sure, his god would love to start a war.
My understanding in recent events, if you want to fight a demigod, at least, it can be arranged.
You guys have really gotten into some.
But no one ever said I wasn't ambitious. I think Cork gets up to like the place of the residence or whatever that might be.
Mm-hmm. It's another apartment building. Everything is kind of segregated into housing in that way. And similar to Yelena's building, again, very square, geometric dwarven architecture. The foyer is fairly basic. The deskmen to your right, and a set of stairs, 2 sets of stairs all the way at the end that lead up. The guy behind the desk is a dwarven gentleman, bright, rusty red hair, thick beard, well braided, a couple of gold pieces of jewelry interwoven into it. Bright green eyes, and he just looks up from the desk and smiles. How are you all doing today?
Doing pretty good.
I am pleased to hear that. Can I help you? I don't think I recognize any of you.
It's been a while since I've been here. Is Precious still around?
Yes. Well, Precious, the rent is paid up for the month, but I have actually not seen Precious for a few days.
Oh.
Yes, I was actually beginning to grow worried, and I was about to send people to go asking about her.
Oh, I am a friend. When was the last time you saw them?
Let me think. I saw Precious. Oh, and he stops. He flips through the open ledger on his desk. I saw Precious last 5 days ago.
Okay. 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Have any idea where they might have been going?
Uh,
You're
at
sure
the-
they're just not like in the room?
well, I have stopped by and checked in. I have not had any response from the room so far. But otherwise, the last time I saw Precious, it seemed like they were going about their normal routine. No signs of travel or packing or anything.
5 days is a lot of days to go missing, and a lot can happen in the city real fast. Cord looks at Candace with actual concern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Candace's face has become much more stern, and you could tell like wheels are turning. Like she agrees, like something feels off. Do you mind if we go knock on the door and pay a visit for ourselves? Just concerned friends checking on a friend. He just kind of nods. Oh, yes. You should know the room. Go on. You're welcome to. And,
I think
Candace,
Cora looks.
yeah,
Cora
begins
looks at the.
quickly
God.
moving.
It begins moving and looks towards Papanero and Yelena and says, "I'm really sorry, but we really need to look into this."
Of course.
Greg, do you have to leave soon?
He does.
Yeah, like no. I gotta get going.
Which is
Yes.
Cliffhanger.
Yes.
Yep. Big
Sure.
old
Thank
cliffhanger.
you for running. I
No,
gotta go.
really,
See
I
ya.
understand. Run.
God.
And yeah, big old cliffhanger. As Candace and Core turn and begin making their way along with everyone else up the stairs to go check on Precious Vale, an old friend who was once saved by Claire. And we're gonna find out what happens, or has happened, or may not have happened to them next week.
I'm trying to think of like what our time frame 5 days ago was.
Getting in the camp.
Pretty much.
Not quite. Like in the beginning, like day to day, the days were very dense. But then we started having a bit of quicker turnover.
Yeah.
But you guys haven't, like, in game, you guys haven't had 2 weeks go by yet.
We haven't even really had a week go by yet, really. We're really close.
Man, I really gotta. Honestly, I'll have to double back into my notes. I can find it out.
I think it's been at least a week.
We've had the one day that we've lost. I feel like we've long rested maybe 5 times total.
See, that I disagree with. I think you've done it more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been keeping track of the rest of the days. But I've been like, I mean, you can see my character sheet. Like, I do very extensive note taking.
You do.
And that's
Like I said, yeah.
partly
I'll spend some time this week and see if I can. I don't know why I didn't mark a start date. That would have been much smarter. I will double back and see if I can't find when the first date for this first session was, so we can get a better idea as to the timeline. Yeah, you're right. It has been a brief amount of time. You guys have done and had a lot of things occur in a very short window. That you guys are pushing, you guys are level 7 and it's only been like conservatively like 12 days maximum,
All right. Well, do you want to do experience real quick, Quinn?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here. Hit me.
Yeah. We had a list of things to do. There have not been consequences from this yet, but I really want to say that having to stop to look for Precious Veil is... I can't help but feel this is a setback. I don't know how bad things have to be, but this is...
But it's not a setback. Yeah.
Fair. Any bonds that we want to point out for this session?
I mean, there were nice interactions, but I also don't feel like they were a step up from what we've had so far.
Can we do something for that scene that started us off with Greg in that dream sequence? Like,
Between Haba and Nero?
oh yeah, I really like that.
Like, I mean, it was good. I don't know what to...
Oh,
I wouldn't know
Discovery.
what to...
They know the location of something.
Fair point. That's actually a great point.
Yep, they were told the location of something pertaining to their backstory, but not necessarily main plot stuff.
Yep, it is tangential as it stands right now.
Yeah, I think that's pretty important. I want to give something to Greg because Greg's having a really rough time.
Mm-hmm.
That and that scene was actually like, I kind of had to take a moment to be like, oh wow,
It was good.
They did that.
Yeah, it was good. It was real good. The way that Greg ended that was just like, chef's kiss. It was so good.
Yeah, no.
Those are the moments I live for.
I was very impressed. We didn't really have too much going on. All right. Well, I can't wait for like this next day and a half to take up 6 more sessions.
Just you wait.
I think you were AFK for it. Like, Yolita ended up buying a fiery cloak from Star as well.
Yeah,
Fire dervish cloak.
I wanted to really get to the RP stuff, so I didn't want to linger in the buying too much. Because I was also like, yeah, no, I just feel bad when I already know that I talk a lot.
It's not bad to have someone that's willing to engage and do stuff. Especially since like right now, without Sam, and Greg kind of being relatively busy in and around the timeline right now for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to make time for stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to think if Core's dream really let him know anything extra.
No, I didn't really get any other information there other than some verification about like the nature of stuff. I mean, the only reason that Core didn't have a lot of things to like really go off of there is because he's been trading the necklace like it's been Claire this entire time. So anything that he's been having to say, it's been very one-sided. So I mean, he just found himself in a situation where it was very odd. I mean, you could potentially argue a bond, but I would also I would very disagree with that. Like, I don't think that there's like enough really there. Maybe the next time there's something there, it'll there'll be something.
I agree. I find myself agreeing.
Yeah,
which is perfectly okay.
Yeah, I think it's just fine being a low XP session. We're gonna do this entire level up just from discoveries.
Well, let's be honest. You guys just leveled up last session, and you guys have basically you have already filled your discovery. Like, come on.
That's what happens when you meet with the Circle Head and their adventuring husband, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong.
It's like, wow, world building. Look at all the stuff we can do when we're done, dealing with Constable and the child eating.
It's true.
We got a lot of stuff we can do after, but I think I'm most interested now in dealing with whatever Habanero's thing is. I don't remember what the location name was, but it didn't sound like it was a place inside the city.
It is not. It is in a whole other country on the other side of the continent.
That'd be a really big change of pace.
Yeah, it's actually almost the exact opposite side of the continent from where you guys are on. And it's actually a big old desert is where it is.
I would very much so be interested in pursuing things like that. Like I said, I feel like a lot of things, I like that plots for other characters are starting to bleed into the story a lot more prominently, because for the very beginning, I really felt like it was very, like, core-centered without it intending on being, because Core was the only person who was actually, like, born here and has lived here, while everybody else has kind of moved. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but,
now it's shifting away from that.
All coming in. Yeah, like I said, it's all going to come to a head. Honestly, narratively speaking, I normally don't push so hard on the envelope. I do a bit of slow over a trickle, but the pace that you guys have set for this game, I'm being a little bit more open with a lot of these points that kind of just get you going into other people's directions on their own, and I'm finding it's not detracting from the narrative, the main narrative. It's actually kind of expanding everything, because now you feel, there's not just pressure on you from one direction. You're now kind of feeling it from other sides. Like there's things to do of interest elsewhere, and it doesn't feel like, well, okay, let's go do this fetch quest. No, it's something significant that if you go do it, could benefit, a party member, significantly.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, I did really think really hard about, like, okay, what would Core actually say to Consumon? I actually had to write that stuff down and just basically be like, what is he going to say? Oh, wow, that's really smart, Aleki. How far is he going to push it?
Oh, man, I can't wait for Yelena to continue making bad decisions, TM, with this Heartstone, because her past is coming back in the most awful way.
I'm living for it.
Just like on the fence, maybe I'll do something with this, maybe I won't. Oh, I just got sent the ritual dagger that was used to brand me. Guess we're going on to that side of the fence now.
Dyer, at some point, let me talk with you about some ideas or some stuff. Because I'm just thinking a little bit. Brain juice working.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You got all week.
All I'm saying is I DM'd for Yelena before.
Word.
And I know that Quinn has a bad memory. Wahahaha.
It's almost like one of Yelena's flaws is trying to do things alone that she probably shouldn't be doing alone.
Oh yeah, I remember that. We're having fun.
Yeah, we're having. But yeah, like I said, even on the more condensed timeline, there was a lot of good stuff today. This was a great game.
So the next session is the 25th. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't received any other changes of schedule or anybody. Like I said, I haven't been able to contact Sam at all. And she's usually pretty forthcoming. So I'm gonna try to follow up with her again.
I can send them a text to make sure that they're doing okay.
Yeah, I feel like something's going on. So I think that would be good. Just a good friend wellness check, I think, is the plan. Because I'm honestly like low key a little concerned. She's seemed a little off the last 2 weeks too when she's shown up, and I always give her a little bit of leeway because sometimes she's got Xander, so I'm like, it's okay, taking care of the baby, that's cool, I get it. But she's always seemed a little further distracted. My intuition saying she's either just like having an off month or something. I don't know. I'm a little concerned as well.
Yeah, all right. I sent them a text.
Good.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
Amy.
am off. I am off next week, all next week.
Oh, nice.
So I don't have any plans on the 25th, as far as I know. So just letting you know.
Nice. Oh yeah. I'll even post up the new game as soon as we finish here. Yeah. So yeah, next week definitely Wednesday. More planning stuff. Get more thoughts organized to figure out what else you're doing with your time if you don't end up using it all on whatever might happen at the start of the next session.
Can we leave the
Otherwise,
dogs with Pops.
yep.
Hmm.
There's a reason why I've not removed these tokens yet on the thing, because I'm trying to leave them here as a reminder that they exist. And yeah, that someone finally asked the question. So,
I mean, I know that that's a thing, but like, it's also not my responsibility to be keep track of the dogs.
oh well.
All right. Well,
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna wrap up. So we're finished here. Thank you everyone for watching. As you clearly heard us discuss, next week, 25th of August, game's gonna happen again. Find out what happened to Precious next week. Woo. Otherwise, I think I'm participating in a one-shot tomorrow on my Thursday slot, but I might be streaming it, so I guess keep an eye out for that if you're interested. Game deemed by Jakeford, the lovely man himself. Otherwise, the usual schedule is not happening this week. Friday, we are off. I have 2 players, one of which is going to a wedding, and the other one of which I believe has a huge work project. Friday, we're taking off. In which case, you will see me again, I guess, actually, this place, Wednesday again, next week. Again, check Twitter for updates. Otherwise, can't do anything else. Make your choices. You guys have a good morning.
Bye.
be good people.